From the moment I learned about healing, my understanding of it was simple. It has no destination. It's a journey that should be taken by everybody to travel the roads of their soul. And it made sense for years. I wrote about it, published it in my books, created characters who were on their healing journey. In the last 5 years of me healing and understanding the term, there were some quiet days when I thought about it. But was too engrossed by the definition I've already learned to explore a different aspect of it. Maybe healing has a destination. And if not, then where does this journey end? Never had an answer to that. And to find an answer meant to challenge the very foundation, and that was work, like immense work. And I had no energy for that. Not because I was lazy, but because of lack of energy and the cognitive load I was already carrying. Now I feel like I have energy and the space, so I question it again. If it doesn't have a destination, then where does this journey end? Because if there is one eternal truth in this world, one certainty, then it is this: everything has an end. Human beings, things, feelings, relationships, everything has an expiry date attached to it. Everything. Then why healing be an exception? Surely it must end too. And I think it does. I still believe it's a journey. But now I would also like to explore the other aspect of it. But before that, one thing I believe everyone would agree is that healing is cyclical and not linear. So you might find yourself in the same position after you believe you have healed from it. And both can be true. You can be healed and you can find yourself in the same position, but here's the thing we tend to miss. We don't arrive at the same position as the same as we left. We change, and when we change, our outlook changes. The way we handle things changes. The speed in which we come back to ourselves changes. So, healing is cyclical, and even cycles break sometimes. So, where does this end? In acceptance. And I'm not saying or claiming it just because I think it is. I'm saying this because that's where I find myself in. That's the place I'm standing right now while writing this. Healing ends in acceptance. I was thinking about something of me being a hypocrite, and this needs another vlog. And that thought started the film of my past, which had every scenes that were filled with heartbreak, betrayal, pain, trauma, humiliation. And the more I thought about how I felt, how it was all so unfair, how they could do this to me, honestly, it didn't matter. It didn't. The more I tried to think about it, the more repulsed I became. And it didn't have any negative connotation attached to it. It was just an existence. Like, yeah, that happened. That's it. No emotions to follow, no story to attach, no empathy to feed. Just it happened. That's it. And what surprised me the most was not the realization or this ruthless acceptance. No, what surprised me the most was how this felt. Like I have been carrying this for a very long time, as if my body, heart, and soul have been living with this for so long that it has now become a part of me. It was just my mind that was unaware. It didn't feel alien, it didn't feel borrowed, it didn't feel like it wasn't mine. It felt like as it was always there, it was present, it was active. I just didn't see it. And now I do. This acceptance wasn't sudden, which makes me question for how long had I known about this. Because when I look back at certain scenarios of my life, I see it playing its role. I see it making me choose wiser decision. I see it making sure I was stable even in my pain. I'd like to go back to my past now, not to renew the wounds, but just to watch them, study them. My trust was broken, that made me take my very first step in trusting myself. I was left alone, that made me found myself. I wasn't supported, that made me be there for me no matter what. I was judged, that made me accept myself more. My love was used, that made me realize how generous and careless I have been with my love. I was humiliated, that made me choose my self respect irrespective of consequences. My naivety was used as a weapon that made me stronger, wiser, and cautious. The truth is, every trauma, pain, heartbreak, betrayal, everything made me see myself more, made me meet myself at the level I was always supposed to meet. Had I been chosen by others, I wouldn't have chosen myself. Had my love was not taken advantage of, then I wouldn't have started loving myself so ferociously. Had my trust wasn't broken, I would have never found the willingness to trust myself. I look back and try to find the urge to complain, but there isn't any left. I no longer wish that shouldn't have happened to me. I no longer imagine an alternate ending. I no longer try to rewrite history. It was there, and so what? The amount of exhaustion that spikes my blood when I try to go and embrace the victim mindset should be studied actually. And it's not harsh, it's not rude, it's just the truth. Nothing more, nothing less, just the truth. Why attach yourself to it so much that your present mixes in your past while you hope for a better future? It doesn't make any sense to me now. I can understand it, but I don't want to understand why would you want to be there when you can have a great life. It just seems common sense to me now. Was this my understanding before? No. However, we change and we should change, and that's what healing gives you. Healing doesn't make sure everything makes sense, but it makes sure that you make sense in your own world, the world you are creating. Healing gives you a foundation that can be shaken but not ripped apart. It hurts, but why that is a big deal? If happiness is not a big deal, then why sadness? If you don't put the good emotions on the pedestal, then why the bad ones? They all are emotions, why not treat them as such? Why create a whole identity around it? Why let them dictate the course of our actions? I have given these emotions full control over me. They have ruled my life as it were their most prosperous kingdom, just because I was comfortable in my pain, just because I didn't want to fight at all. But here's the truth, I'm grateful I did. I'm grateful I took the journey with one blue bag in my hand and dejection and hopelessness in my heart. I'm grateful because what I feel now is what I want to feel every day. I don't want to go back, even if God guarantees that things would be easier. I don't want that. I'm glad it was hard. I'm glad it was so bad, dying felt like my call. Because here's the truth that I have been intentionally blind to. Everything, and I mean it with all my heart, everything was for my own good. Even when it felt like hell, even when it felt like heaven. It was a journey meant to be taken. And here's the thing, it's not mandatory. I know so many people who refuses to vote on, who keep the hurt so close to their heart it ends up suffocating their soul. You have a choice. It will always be your call. But the conclusion is healing too has an ending, but it also can be a never ending journey. The ending, however, is acceptance. And it doesn't announce its arrival, it doesn't come dancing in joy with your organs playing trumpets. No, it is slowly born within your soul, and from there, it slowly enters your veins and flow in your blood, and it waits. It waits for you to notice it. It waits so patiently it becomes a part of you without you ever noticing. And that gives life a meaning you can only feel and not explain. The realization of it is peaceful, the acceptance of the realization is human. The feeling puts life in motion. I'm so proud of this piece, honestly. Bye, have a great day ahead.